out in the real world, being a tattletale can sometimes lead to a grant of thousands of dollars. I'm referring to whistleblowers. They're very important people, and a lot of them overlook their efforts, and it takes a lot of dedication to be one. So, at one point in our lives, most of us have seen something wrong, and we've had to decide whether or not we should tell an authoritative figure. If you were a child and you were telling on a classmate for doing something wrong, that's easy. But being an adult and challenging a powerful person, a company, or even a government can be really difficult, and it can lead to some serious consequences. I learned about whistleblowers recently, and I found that they were very interesting. I've discussed them with people that I know, and so I did some more research on whistleblowers for the purpose of the speech, and I was genuinely curious about them. So the purpose of my speech is to inform all of you about whistleblowers, who they are, and how we're all affected by them. So first, I'll define what a whistleblower actually is, then give a famous example, and then I'll conclude with how they're beneficial to all of us. So first, let me explain what it actually is. Basically, whistleblowers are snitches. They're someone who reports on other people or companies who engage in illicit activities. It ranges from someone reporting on a coworker about their wrongdoings, an employee reporting the entire company, or even someone reporting the government for participating in illegal activities. So sometimes, if a person is reporting on a company, the company can get sued, and so in some cases, this is how a whistleblower can gain money reward tied to the activity that they had exposed. Being a whistleblower is it's a very serious choice to make, and it comes at a high cost, and you need some really solid evidence in order to back up your claims. They have to prepare for retaliation from the source that they reported, and some points of retaliation can include isolation and defamation. Their reputation can be ruined, they can get fired, and just a lot of things like that. So then next I'll be talking about one of the most famous whistleblowers of our time. So Edward Snowden is a former intelligence community officer who revealed shocking details about the NSA. He released information about secret mass surveillance program, and according to a site that is dedicated to informing the public of Edward Snowden, the NSA's mass surveillance programs were shown to be operating without any public oversight and outside the limits of the US Constitution. His revelation generated global attention, and it sparked discussions about privacy intrusion and digital security. It brought awareness to how powerful technology really can be and how powerful people can use it against people like us. It's not easy for Edward Snowden to come forward. He received a lot of backlash regarding his leak of the private information. He was sued for the theft of government property, and according to an article I found on Gale, the library resource, one main issue with being a whistleblower is retaliation or further unethical activity on the part of the accused toward the whistleblower. He is wanted in the US and is currently in exile in Russia. His life will never be the same again, and he has to continue fighting against intelligence agencies. When interviewed, he says that he has no regrets and he was glad to bring awareness to the public. So lastly, I'll be talking about how whistleblowers are beneficial to all of us. It takes a lot of courage to be one, and not a lot of people are willing to risk themselves for the sake of justice. They find faults in our systems, like governments and companies, and they point them out. They needed a lot of dedication in order to gain the justice that they seek. Some do it on purpose, but other people just stumble upon it. Edward Snowden is an excellent example of someone who risked everything that he had and everything that he owned in order to bring awareness. So there are people out there who challenge powerful authorities and possibly receive threats due to it. They receive threats for themselves, families, and it's a really serious thing to do. And many of us, including myself, we tend to let things slide in order to avoid complications. So can you see yourself snitching on something as powerful as the US government? I wouldn't. So I hope you all learned something interesting about whistleblowers after all that I said. So I first defined what a whistleblower is, and then I gave Edward Snowden as an example, and then I explained their impact. So this speech was to inform all of you about whistleblowers and hopefully bring awareness to the impact that they actually make. So according to Kelly Pope, a woman who gave a TED Talk about whistleblowers are hopeful, whistleblowers are committed, whistleblowers are brave. But are you? Thank you.